Think your city's safe from collapse? Think again. Jobs gone, tourists evaporated, industries collapsed overnight like a cheap lawn chair under your drunk uncle at a 4th of July barbecue. And these 10 cities, they're already teetering on the edge. Stick around, because if your city's on this list, it might be time to pack your bags and maybe invest in a decent pair of running shoes. First up, we're heading to the neon-drenched desert oasis of broken dreams, where what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, because no one can afford to leave. That's right, folks, it's Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, Vegas likes to pretend it's recession-proof, a glittering monument to excess and indulgence. But let's rewind to 2008, shall we? Remember the subprime mortgage crisis? Yeah, Vegas remembers. It had the highest foreclosure rate in America. And today, 1 in 4 households are drowning in rent. And unemployment is still clinging to life support, gasping for air above the national average. When the tourists stop coming, and they will, this desert mirage will disappear faster than a gambler's life savings. Next, we're taking a trip down memory lane to the city that's already experienced the sweet, sweet taste of economic collapse. Detroit, Michigan. Ah, Detroit, the Motor City. Once a symbol of American industrial might, now a cautionary tale whispered in hushed tones in the halls of economic history. In 2013, Detroit achieved a dubious honor, the largest municipal bankruptcy in U.S. history. 300,000 people fled, presumably for higher, less financially and metaphorically bankrupt ground. The next recession? It won't need a knockout punch, just a stiff breeze to send this city crumbling back to the economic Stone Age. Now let's head west, shall we, to the sun-drenched fields of California. But don't let those golden hills fool you, because we're not stopping in Napa or Malibu. No, we're going to Fresno, California, a city with a dirty little secret agriculture is a ticking time bomb, and the fuse is about as long as a grape stem. 7% unemployment, twice the national average. Fresno's economy is about as diverse as a monoculture farm, and when global demand for almonds and grapes inevitably dries up, Fresno starves. Just dust, debt, and the harsh reality of a one-industry town in a globalized economy. From the Golden State, we're hopping on a plane and heading east to the faded glory of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Remember when Atlantic City was the place to be, a glittering beacon of gambling and gaudy entertainment? Yeah, those days are gone, baby, gone. Since 2014, 5 casinos have gone belly up, taking countless jobs and dreams with them. 25% of the population lives below the poverty line, clinging to the hope that their luck will change. Spoiler alert, it won't. The boardwalk might as well be a house of cards just waiting for the economy to sneeze in its general direction. Next up, we're heading down south to the land of jazz, gumbo, and a whole lot of economic precarity. New Orleans, Louisiana. Ah, New Orleans, the Big Easy. Home of Mardi Gras, where everyone pretends to be happy and carefree, even though the city is one bad hurricane season away from financial ruin. Look, we all love a good party, but even the best parties have to end sometime. And when the music stops and the tourists sober up, the harsh reality sets in. 24% poverty rate. Add in the ever-present threat of hurricanes, rising sea levels, and a crime rate that's enough to make even the most hardened criminal blush. And you've got yourself a recipe for disaster gumbo. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to venture into the heart of California's Central Valley, a place where the sun shines bright, the air smells vaguely of cow manure, and the economy is about as stable as a Jenga tower after a few tequila shots. That's right, we're talking about Bakersfield, California, a city that somehow managed to combine 2 of the most volatile industries into one precarious economic cocktail: oil and agriculture. 8.3% unemployment, 20% poverty. When oil prices plummet or crops fail, and let's be honest, in this day and age, it's more a matter of when, not if, this city bleeds out, silently. Just the slow, agonizing drip, drip, drip of economic despair. Next, we're trading in our cowboy hats for sunscreen, and a healthy dose of existential dread as we head to the Sunshine State, where the beaches are beautiful, the nightlife is legendary, and the economy is about as stable as a sandcastle in a hurricane. Miami, Florida, a city synonymous with sunshine, beaches, and a healthy dose of financial quicksand. It's consistently ranked in the top 5 least affordable cities in the United States, where rent consumes a soul-crushing 50% of the average person's income. Oh, and did we mention the whole rising sea levels thing? Yeah, that's a whole other layer of disaster frosting on this already crumbling economic cake. From the sunny shores of Miami, we're heading back west, to a city that's already tasted the bitter sting of economic collapse. San Bernardino, California. Remember 2012? The Mayan apocalypse was supposed to happen, but instead San Bernardino declared bankruptcy. And while the world didn't end yet, San Bernardino never quite recovered. 25% poverty rate. The cops are underfunded, the schools are crumbling faster than a stale fortune cookie, and the next recession, well, let's just say it's not going to be pretty. Our next stop takes us back to the desert. But this time, we're not talking about the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas. No, we're heading to its slightly less flashy neighbor, Reno, Nevada. Reno's been trying to reinvent itself as a tech hub, a mini Silicon Valley if you will, with Tesla and Amazon setting up shop. But let's be real folks, a few tech companies do not a Silicon Valley make. And when the tech bubble inevitably bursts, as all bubbles are wont to do, and those layoffs start rolling in, well, Reno's going to find out the hard way that the desert is as unforgiving to failing economies as it is to thirsty travelers. And finally, we arrive at our last stop, a city that's often overlooked, but one that's teetering on the edge of economic oblivion, El Paso, Texas. El Paso is a city that's quietly struggling, a place where 20% of the population lives below the poverty line, and the economy is about as diverse as a bag of potato chips. It's heavily reliant on the military and retail, 2 sectors that are particularly vulnerable during a recession. One minute it'll be there, a dot on the map between Texas and New Mexico, and the next, poof! Gone, vanished, disappeared into the desert like a tumbleweed in a windstorm. So there you have it. 10 cities, 10 cautionary tales of economic precarity, all teetering on the brink of collapse. These aren't just cities, they're canaries in the coal mine, flashing warning signs about the fragility of our economic system. Debt, one-industry economies, poverty traps, these are the ticking time bombs that will detonate when the recession hits. Hit subscribe if you dare, and maybe, just maybe, you'll learn how to survive the economic apocalypse.